Hiya guys, welcome to Learning to Race with RingoD123 episode 1. If you haven't seen already, this is going along hand in hand alongside my Learning to Drive series, which is obviously also available on my channel. Part 1 should be up already now for you guys to watch if you haven't watched it already. Now, after every Learning to Drive episode, I'm going to be doing a Learning to Race episode. This is one of the games I'm going to be using to learn to race on, using my wheel. This is Sim Raceway. It is probably the best free-to-play racing game I've come across yet. Brilliant cars, brilliant tracks. Obviously it's free-to-play, so you can use real-world money to buy certain extra cars and stuff. But you can also just play for free to grind to get credits to buy those same cars with. So it is a true free-to-play game, which I love. Now, a little while ago, I did purchase myself the Sim Raceway SRW-S1 racing wheel, which is not very similar to this. It's one of those ones where you actually just hold it free in the air, and it has a gyroscope inside, so as you turn it, it turns the car in game. It didn't come with any feet pedals with it. It's got the pedals on the back, so you've got your accelerator, your brake, and your gear shifters. Obviously no clutch though. But a brilliant starter wheel. Like I say, I had that for about 2 weeks. I've still got it as a backup in case anything goes wrong with this. But I had that for 2 weeks when I decided it was that good. I wanted to upgrade to a proper full set, which I have now. And I'd never go back. But this is amazing. But anyways, there is a few games I'm going to be using for my Learning to Race series. But like I said, this is one of them, Sim Raceway. I've got like Race 07, Dirt 3 and a few other different types of games as well, F1 2012 and stuff like that, so we can cover any type of racing that we like. But the first thing I'm going to do is jump into practice mode, select one of my favourite cars in this game that I have so far. As you can see, I've got quite a few cars, and that was because I bought the Sim Raceway wheel, and with that, if it wasn't cheap enough already, which it was, you get £10 worth of in-game credit. And with that £10 credit, I've bought all of these cars, and I've still got £2.62 worth of credit left as well. But this, the Cosworth, this is the car that I've used the most in this game, so it's the one that I know the best. Again, I haven't played this game much. I've only really played with this car on Lime Rock Park, just to get everything set up with the recording software, and also with the wheel and the shifter and the pedals. Now, to start off with, I am going to be cheating a little bit. I say cheating, it's not really cheating, but because I'm so new to the wheel and obviously to driving a geared car, I really wouldn't be very fast if I was to race using the full-on gear shifter and clutch. So to start off with, I'm not going to use that. I'm not even going to use the flappy paddles. I'm going to be fully automatic while for this first session, possibly for the first 2 or 3 sessions as well, just so I can get used to the game, get used to the wheel, and then I will then jump up to the flappy paddles, which is what most people who use this kind of setup use while racing. But eventually I do want to go full hardcore and use the clutch and the proper shifter even while racing. But I am going to build up to that, like I've said. So to start off with, please don't throw too much abuse at me for going fully automatic in this first session. Like I say, probably for the first 2 or 3 sessions, to be honest. But we will eventually move on to the flappy paddles with no clutch, and then eventually the clutch and the full-on gear shifter. We might as well actually make it a bit of a race with the AI. Make it quite hard for ourselves as well. Because we're in automatic, you know, we might as well bump the difficulty up a little bit since we are running automatic. 3 laps against, what, 10 or so AI. Now with this being a free to play as well, I got this before I got the City Car Driving Simulator, which I'm using in my Learn to Drive series. So when I was getting everything tested on this, obviously I'm thinking I'm a rally driver, left foot braking, right foot accelerating, and I did take that across into City Car Driving, which caused me no amount of problems when obviously I was trying to use the clutch and the brake both with my left foot. it wasn't working out very well, and I kept on stalling the car. Here we are, on the racing line already. Everything's very loud in my ears. And away we go, good start. Obviously getting all the force feedback through the wheel. Gets heavy to turn in corners, obviously when you're going at speed. Now as you can see, I do have the racing line on the track. Now I don't have any assistance turned up to full, apart from the racing line. And what I mean by that is, I've only got like ABS and traction control on low, everything else is turned off completely. So I am trying to get as much of a simulation feel as possible. That's what I'm interested in. That's why I bought all this gear for. Shit. Catch him back up.
That was a 1:18.30.
If I do stop talking for long periods, guys, it's just because I'm concentrating. Come on, I've got you.
That was a 1:07.31.
How stop slowing us down. Did you really need to brake that much? Oh, I really need to find a way around him. He's holding us up now. The rest of the pack's caught up. Oh, and it's the last lap. Shit. Whoa. Big slide. Go on the inside. On the inside. Love it. No! You're not getting back in front of us now. What a warm-up race, come on. What an overtake that was. Love it. Well, that was me warm-up against the computer. One thing I haven't done yet actually is I've never used this online against other real people yet. So we'll have a quick look at quick race. I was kind of hoping nobody was going to be playing, so I'd have an excuse not to show you how shite I'm going to be against other people. But there's a lot of people playing. I've never driven that Audi before, but I do own it, so I could play that, which is why all these ones in black I own the cars for, so I could play those. Any that come up in red, you do not own the car for, so you need to purchase first. Now for my first race, my first online race with this wheel, I'm going to see if I can do an oval race, which is a lot like, obviously like American what they call it, is it stock car racing or whatever, like Daytona, you know. But this is at Daytona actually, so there you are. But this is like a tri-oval. It's not like your bog standard oval like that. It's got like an extra bump in it down at the bottom here, so you know it's like a tri-oval basically. Now, oval racing is so much different from what I've gathered to normal racing. Oval racing is all about very close quarters, precise driving and slipstreaming. If you can't slipstream anybody, you're going to fall behind and everybody else is just going to speed away from you completely. You need to stay close to other cars for them to obviously slipstream off you and get in front of you, and then for you to slipstream off them, and then obviously you keep dragging each other quicker and quicker around the track. Let's create a race. Somebody else has created one as well, brilliant. So we'll close mine. We'll enter that one. As you can see, in the oval races you can have a maximum of 12 people. I'm sure there's 4 in at the moment. I'm sure that'll jump up a little bit more before we actually get racing. And what car is this using? This is using the Mitsubishi Evolution 10. Two and a half minutes we're going to wait, but that's not too bad. And depending on how good or bad we'll do in this, I might go and jump on that Audi TT race afterwards as well, see what that's like. As you can see in the driver roster, you have this thing at the end called SQ. I do believe that stands for skill quant. Yeah, there it is there, look. So anybody between 500 and 1100 can take part in any of these races. Now, I do believe when you go into the race, your grid position that is determined by your skill quant. So the person with the highest skill quant will be obviously in pole position, and it'll work backwards from there. Now, by the look of it, I've got the highest skill quant out of everybody in this race so far, so that should be good enough to see me starting at the moment in pole. Obviously, if anybody else dives in with a higher skill quant before we start, then will be in front of me. Now, oval racing, starting in first isn't really that much of a big deal, because if the drivers behind you have any idea what they're doing, they're going to be slipstreaming you straight away, and probably after the first, within the first 2 or 3 corners, you'll be overtaken. Like I say, it's hard racing, this oval race, and you might think it's easier because it's just, you know, you just turn in the same direction all the time. But it's very technical, and like I say, you've got to be very cautious while still being very aggressive. How many now? There's 7 of us. And I'm just about still first, I think. Oh no, there we go. Somebody else is in there now. I think your skill quant, I think it starts off when you create an account at 500. And literally it gets higher the more races you do without quitting out. Obviously, like, the more laps you put in multiplayer games, it goes up. And obviously the more races and more laps you do without hitting people or without being hit or causing an accident or being in an accident, your skill quantifier does go up a lot quicker there as well. So obviously, if you're going to come onto this game and try and treat it like Mario Kart and just try and like bash everybody out the way and ram into them and everything like that, your skill quantifier is just going to go lower and lower and lower, and you're never going to be able to get yourself into a race with people who want to play properly. But here we go. Eventually we're loading up. Again, this is probably going to be quite loud in my earphones when it comes on, because I do like it turned up so I can hear the engine revving and stuff. Don't really need it for when I'm not using the gears, but I do like to immerse myself in it. That was the whole reason for buying all this stuff in the first place, was to give myself as much a simulation type of feeling as possible. So if I do speak a little bit loud, I do apologise. But we should get about a minute's warm up. There we are, 70 seconds till the warm up ends. starting in second place, thought I would be somewhere like that. Now as you can see when I'm revving as well, when I get to about 6,000 revs, there's a green light behind the actual gear that I'm in. So number 1 glows green there, look. I think that's something to do with the sweet spot for gearing. So I do like, I don't know if it helps us me take off speeds, but I do like to try and hold it roundabouts there for pulling away. You can see people are like flashing the lights on and off, beeping the horn, thinking that they're clever. Here we go. Red, 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 go! Want to dive straight in behind this guy. Oh shit! Can't believe I did that, let everybody through there. Oh bugger. Honestly! Well, that's that race over with, obviously. Again, that's down to people coming in and treating it like Mario Kart. Not every race is like that. Give them a bit of stick for driving like shit. People literally join a race, think it's all won on the first corner. Don't ever bother taking the foot off the accelerator, or should I say, sorry, their finger off the trigger, because obviously, you know, they're not using a setup like this. They're obviously just like 15-year-old kids using Xbox pads. Not that that's a bad thing, that's what I've used until I got this set up myself, to be honest. But yeah, blatantly not interested in trying to treat it like a simulator, more just interested in putting the foot on the floor and just trying to ram through anything to come across. But anyways, we'll leave that for now. We'll have a quick look, see if there's one of these events about to start. There is. Only a minute and a half away as well, so we'll join this and we'll sit in here waiting for this one. Hopefully we'll have a bit more luck racing on this track than what we did on the oval. I do like the oval racing. I've had a couple of good races on there. Obviously using the SRW-S1 racing wheel and me pad before I even got that wheel. That was my first try on this. I crashed into the wall because the steering was really heavy when I was under speed. Obviously the car's wanting to go one way with the acceleration and stuff, and I'm trying to turn against it, and it was hard. You know, it was harder than what I was expecting, which is why I hit the wall a little bit myself. If I hadn't done that, I might not have dropped as far back, so therefore I might not have crashed into that guy who just decided to try and take everybody out. I don't know, so I can't completely blame everybody else. Down to poor driving on my part, obviously because I'm trying to get used to the wheel. That's my excuse. There's a few people in the chat room of this event. All the white ones are ones who aren't racing, so there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, what, 8 or 9 people in here. There's only 4 of them in the race at the moment. They've only got about 10 seconds left to join before it closes. Yeah, there's 4. To be honest, that's quite good. That means there's not going to be a lot of people just jumping in to try and win the race on the first corner, killing everybody and then logging back off. You do get that sometimes, but the more you play with cars that you need to purchase, the less you get those idiots who just come on and try and spoil it for everybody. The Evo 10 is one of those cars you get for free to start with, which is why you do get a lot of that happening sometimes, depending on what time of night you play and everything like that. And there's a good hint for you. To finish first, you first need to finish. Again, we should have about 60 seconds, 70 seconds to warm up. I just love the interiors of the cars. They look amazing. Oh Christ. I'll try and sit back so you can see us on the camera, guys, but the wheel is really high in this car. Oh, and I don't know the track neither. Luckily I've got the racing line down. Yeah. Very hard to see the racing line. I don't know if I can change my camera at all, can I? No, I can't sit higher up in the chair in game or nothing. Here we go. I think I'm going to be really bad at this. Never driven this car before, and I've never driven this track before. So if you thought I was bad on the oval racing, yeah, wait till you see this. Go on, get that sweet spot, man. That's it. Go! That was a good start. Space for him on the outside. The dirty git! Honestly, I left space for you and everything, man. Yeah, I'm sure he did receive a penalty as well, and he's brought me car. Honestly. You know, you try to be a gentleman driver, you move across something to go through, and then he just bashes you out the way of your driving line. It was down to him to get past me, not down to me to move out the way for him. Anyways, that was my first attempt at learning to race, and what have I learned? People are bastards. I'm not going to bother doing any more races just yet, guys. I think I need to cool down a little bit first. Otherwise, I'm just going to go on and I'm just going to try and ram into somebody, which is pointless. I'll just lose my skill quantifier, where it'll just go down if I try and do that. So, that was it for Learning to Race Episode 1. Maybe it should be called Learning to Dodge 'em Cart. I don't know, maybe. But that was Episode 1. 2 failed races. Hopefully, we will get a lot better. The more I learn to drive and the more I learn to race. But thank you very much for watching this first episode, guys. Hopefully you will rejoin me in the next episode, where hopefully, fingers crossed, touch wood, you may get to see us actually finish a race. But again, in the meantime guys, thank you very much for watching, and I'll hopefully see you again next time. Bye bye.